Sindiso Magaqa was born in a small town of Umzimkhulu, deep in KZN. From a young age, he was captivated by the pulse of politics, joining the ANC's Youth League officially in 1997. His rise was swift. During Julius Malema's explosive tenure as president, Magaqa became Secretary General of the ANC Youth League. Between 2009 and 2013, there were a lot of worker strikes and service delivery protests. The ANC's 2007 Polokwane Conference had pushed the ruling party's politics to the left, igniting a firestorm of radical energy, especially amongst the youth. At the center of that storm stood Julius Malema, Sindiso Magaqa, Floyd Shivambu, and others in the Youth League. They were fiery, fearless, and uncompromising. As Secretary General, Magaqa helped propel the Youth League into bold, uncharted territory with a defiant battle cry: economic freedom in our lifetime. This was a call for transformation.
Identified the challenges that will confront this program of action for economic freedom in our lifetime.
At the 2011 ANC Youth League National Congress, more than 5,000 delegates rallied behind a policy platform demanding the expropriation of land without compensation and the nationalization of South Africa's mines and key industries. Now the elite and political big dogs were rattled by this.
We can never be led by people who interfere in the affairs of the ANC Youth League. We must be able to defend the autonomy of the Youth League. Some people still even have guts to stand up today and say the Youth League must be a desk, undermining the role that the Youth League plays in this country to liberate the poor, but to continue to make the ANC relevant as a fighting force for the total liberation of our people.
The Youth League was no longer the obedient child of the ANC. It was a force shaking the very foundation of the mother body. Now the Youth League across the country was rising up, demanding change, and Magaqa, alongside Julius Malema, became the symbol of this fearless new generation, a beacon of defiance and agency in a landscape of hesitation and compromise. But what inspired the youth deeply unsettled the powerful. Now behind closed doors, tensions reached a boiling point. President Jacob Zuma, who had once ridden the momentum of the leftist populism into power, now he was the one crushing it. After the 2012 Mangaung Conference, the ANC's politics once again shifted, but this time to the right. The once vocal Youth League was systematically dismantled. Malema and his allies were expelled with a chilling warning that it's cold outside the ANC. Out of that purge, the Economic Freedom Fighters, the EFF, was born, founded by Julius Malema, Floyd Shivambu, and others. Many expected Magaqa, who was closely aligned with Malema, to follow, but in a surprising move, he chose to stay. Though suspended from the Youth League for a year, he returned to the ANC, refusing to abandon the struggle from within. But the ANC Youth League was silenced, its leadership decapitated. But Magaqa refused to fade into the background even as institutions turned their backs and the political tide shifted. He remained committed to the cause, defiant and still fighting. In 2017, Sindiso Magaqa was serving as local councillor in Umzimkhulu, determined to expose a web of corruption within the municipality, but someone wanted him silenced. Magaqa and a few of his comrades began raising alarms about suspicious spending on the construction of a memorial wall. Then municipal manager Zwelipan's Khosana was set to deliver a financial report to council, but something didn't add up. The work on the ground didn't match the millions being reported each month, and the Auditor General's annual report confirmed their suspicions that there had been irregular expenditure. Magaqa, along with several concerned councillors, demanded a formal investigation, but resistance came swiftly from within. When the matter was escalated to the full council, it met even greater opposition. Still, they pushed forward. Now Kosato entered the fray. delivering a memorandum to the KZN Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, calling for an in-depth probe into this scandal. Now the matter ended up reaching the KZN Premier's office, which launched its own investigation, and a report was compiled and handed over to the then Mayor Mpabanga. Mpabanga and Sikhosana refused to act on the report's damning recommendations. Meanwhile, Magaqa was gaining momentum. He was in the running to become the ANC's Regional Deputy Secretary, a position that would have given him the authority to reopen and enforce the investigation. For some, that made him dangerous. Then in July of the same year, Magaqa and 2 of his comrades were ambushed in broad daylight, sprayed with bullets as they sat in a car outside a local tuck shop near his home. Now the vehicle was riddled with holes, yet miraculously, all 3 survived. Magaqa was rushed to hospital, where he began to recover. But just as hope returned, something went horribly wrong. He suddenly began complaining about severe stomach pains. Then within a few days, he was dead. In 2018, the first arrests were made. 4 men were charged in connection with the ambush: a former policeman, a businessman, and a municipal manager of Umzimkhulu, and the then mayor of Herikwala district, Mluleki Ndobe. But inside the prison walls, the truth began to unravel. The hitman realized that he had been played. During a conversation with his co-accused, it came out that they were supposed to be paid 600,000 rands for the job, but he only got 20,000. Enraged by the betrayal, he confronted the man who allegedly orchestrated this move, and the guy confessed. Calmly, the mayor reassured him that he mustn't worry, he's gonna get 500,000 rands as hush money, and the payoff, according to the hitman, came from the city manager Zwelipanzi Sikhosana and Mayor Ndobe themselves. Now at this time, nobody else knew about what happened. But then, in a stunning twist, charges against the high-profile suspects, the mayor and the city manager, were quietly dropped, and just like that, the case lost its momentum. Then came a bombshell, a chilling 13-page confession from the hitman himself, Sindiso Magaqa. He detailed everything, how he and 5 others were paid 120,000 rands upfront by the middleman, who dangled a promise of R1 million tender as part of the deal after they are done with the hit. Now they split the money 6 ways, 20,000 rands each, blood money, and some of it Magaqa claimed was paid to the police officer. But the revelation didn't stop there. Magaqa, the hitman, alleged that the hit was not only known to the police, but it was facilitated by them. The AK that was used in the attack was supplied by the cops, and the getaway car, the Mercedes, was also provided by the authorities. And on the day of the ambush, a police escort cleared the path to ensure that the shooters moved undetected. And then came the deepest cut. The hitman named a journalist as the man who helped to channel the hush money, the 500,000 rands, to buy his silence and loyalty. Now Magaqa also accused the National Prosecuting Authority of trying to suppress his testimony. For years, this story simmered in silence. Whispers in corridors, files mysteriously lost, and evidence was fading. But now, finally, the truth is coming out. For those who knew Sindiso Magaqa, the hitman's confession didn't come as a surprise. It confirmed what they had long suspected. His close friend and a fellow activist, Thabiso Zulu, put it bluntly that the state had a hand in his murder.
Thabiso, someone has been apprehended for the death of your political ally, Sindiso Magaqa. What is your perspective and view?
We are vindicated. We are vindicated because when we were speaking in front of thousands of our people during the memorial service, when we appeared before the Moerane Commission, when we cooperated with the public protector's self-initiated investigation, we said these killings were nothing else but were political, were from our own comrades. It was our own comrades that were hiring assassins to assassinate their own comrades. We feel vindicated. We were ridiculed at the time. We were doubted on what we were saying. We never received support from our own organization. The ANC was nowhere all along. They are here now because they want to shine in what we are doing. We feel that even at the time when there were 2 threat assessments reports that were done on us, the threat assessment investigations that were done on us by State Security Agency, by Crime Intelligence, and by the Public Protector, which indicated that we were supposed to be protected by the state. The state was nowhere to assist us. Even up until today, the state is not providing us with security. So we are quite vindicated, though.
Then in November of 2020, a chilling development. Mayor Lling, the same man once charged in connection with Magaqa's assassination, was found dead. He had taken his own life, a single shot to the dome. Now, according to his family, no suicide note was left. At the time of his death, Sindiso Magaqa remained close to EFF leader Julius Malema. He had even urged Malema to return to the ANC, hoping to rebuild unity from the ruins of a fractured movement. But after Magaqa's passing, Malema claimed his old comrade had been planning to switch sides and join the EFF, an explosive move that, if it was true, it might have shifted the political balance back then. For years, whispers haunted the case that the state operatives had orchestrated the hit, protecting the interest of powerful political gangsters embedded within government ranks. The state accepted Sindiso Magaqi's sworn confession, treating it as a formal plea of guilt. He was convicted on all charges, his words sealing his fate. Sentencing is set for the 30th of June 2025. Meanwhile, the trial against his co-accused is scheduled to resume on June the 19th, 2025.